talking me.
All right, so moving on, right, from the Xbox versus PS5 showcase, let's kind of talk about Ghost of Tsushima, right? So, I guess I'll lead into it first.
Sure.
I played it. I have not beat it yet, so I'm still working on it. I'm trying to enjoy every aspect of the game, so I'm not just trying to like kill through the storyline. So I've definitely been playing a lot of the side quests. Trying to find a lot of the fox dens. The different things like that, kind of enjoy the world, and kind of get that Ghost of Tsushima title like well before I even go through the game like that. But I'm loving it so far. It's definitely one of those games that I'm gonna keep playing and finish it. I might even want to platinum it, possibly. I don't know. I haven't platinumed not one game yet, but this is a possibility that I might want to do it. But at the same time, right, I feel like because of how open world it is and how your missions are like here and there, and there's literally only one goal is to rescue your grandfather, or not your grandfather, but your uncle. There's not really a whole lot like trapping me to the game, not tying me to the game. So I can kind of leave it for 4 or 5 days, play something completely different, and then come back to it and feel okay about it.
Do you like that or not like that?
It's kind of, I'm on the fence about it because I like it in the sense that I can enjoy it like that, and and I not come back and I feel like I'm so lost. But at the same time,
Story's not
that
good,
feels
right?
like a casual kind of game, and I'm not a casual game player. So yeah, I want something that's a little bit more enthralling, something that kind of gives me a lot more that's like memorable about the game. Like I said before, I like the gameplay. So I like the fighting. So the combat is good. The graphics, the details, they're beautiful. The things that you have to do in the world, I feel like there's always something coming up. So that's nice. You know what I mean? Like even if you're just, riding down the road on your horse, you might see a little patrol, and then, standoff pops up and it's like, fight me, you know what I mean? And you go out there and,
that's fun.
and whip them up, and all that stuff is cool doing the chains. I kind of wish that some of those chains were a little bit longer. I wish that you could damn near eradicate like a group of like 6 or 10 guys with a chain, and it'd be like a little mini movie, of epicness. But they only allow you like a max of like 3 or 4 guys.
Well, that cuts out a lot of the combat fun too.
It does.
Do that.
But it's like I'll put it to you like this. It's like Fallout. VATS. When you played with VATS, it was kind of just like there's nothing. You know what I mean? There's no real aiming involved. You have all the time in the world to make your decision.
It's like a turn-based. It's like a turn-based game.
Yeah, it kind of switches it up a little bit. So I would like it if I had that option. Like I don't have to play like that all the time, but I would like that option.
You do feel badass when you do those.
Yeah,
combinations.
it feels wicked. You know what I mean? When you just like you get that first cut off on the guy, and then you just do that slow motion pose, and then another dude runs
Slice
up.
another one,
You get him,
It
get
is
another
fun,
guy. You know what I mean? But if you could just keep doing that and you never moved, you know what I mean? Like, I see people's compilations. Yeah, for sure, OP. But
dude.
I see people's compilations that they put up and they turn them into GIFs or whatever, and they literally like do their cut. They get like the 3 or 4 people, and then they'll throw like a bomb, a sticky bomb or something like that, and they'll try to keep it so that they didn't move from their initial position. And it looks dope, you know what I mean? And then you do like a turnaround, and you're looking at the camera, and then and you kind of do like a slow pan as the dude like explodes off the sticky bomb or something, creative like that. But people are having fun with it, and I just think that would add more to the epicness if you were just like running through, like you could just go to a Mongol territory and just be like, fight me, and then everybody's just getting it.
Except the archers.
Yeah.
You gotta actually go kill the archers.
Yeah. But if you could get rid of every sword that's out there, and all you have to do is worry about the arrows, that would be wicked. Because
so
then you
funny,
just
dude.
go into your constitution, right? Slow mo. just pop them all down, and you literally would not move from that spot. You'd be able to eradicate a whole base and not move. I think that would be dope, and I don't know why they limited it in such a way, but I guess maybe that's for like to speed the gameplay along or something like that.
I mean, there's some thematic explanation for that, right?
Yeah.
Like once you see a samurai mow down 2 guys at the one swipe, you're gonna back off a bit, right? I'm not gonna rush in anymore.
But they don't.
No, I'm just saying, like, but in real life, like, they wouldn't all just keep coming at you to get killed. Like, they might take a minute and like regroup, and then come at you in a group. So, okay, you have to fight now. Yeah, you can't just slice them.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I like it enough to keep playing it. I definitely don't see it on the same level that I did when I initially got it. You know what I mean? Like, I could have probably held off on it instead of getting it like day one, but I enjoy it. You know what I mean? So, it's not like terrible, but if I had known what I knew, I probably would have just got like the disc version.
And what do you
know? Instead of being like locked in.
And what do you know?
Just knowing that it's a good game. It's not a great game, but it is a damn good game.
It does nothing great. It does many things good, but nothing great. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I feel like for most first person or third first party,
third person open world games.
Yeah, open world games and their RPGs and things like that. There's a lot of things that can be better about it, but there are things that it does good. I just feel like when I'm playing a one person game, a lot of the times I'm looking for a story to envelop me. Sometimes you have games like hack and slashers, like I wouldn't say God of War because I was interested in God of War's story, but the hack and slashing of that game kept you interested,
way more exciting,
and kept you wanting to go.
That's exactly what I kept going to in this game.
Yeah, but I
wishing it was more like God of War.
Yeah, so I feel like in that sense, you have a lot of time to just observe. And I feel like they got off what they were trying to do. They wanted you to observe the beauty of things, and they wanted it to feel like a movie at like every waking moment. And I feel like it does that. It feels like a movie when you're watching it. But I wish it was a little bit more fast-paced or a little more action-based. Same. I mean, I also think it's kind of weird about the story, and how they, it's like, you got this guy who doesn't want you to go, I guess cowardly or whatever, dishonorable
fighting,
but yet everything else is telling you to go that, and it literally makes it easy for you to go that way.
Right.
So I'm sure there's something later on in the story, dynamics or whatever, where you'll get to why that's, a big thing or whatnot. But I feel like it's way too easy to go stealth. It's just too easy. Like it's too many opportunities that are set up, like certain situations that you come into, and they're literally just there with their backs turned. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like it should have been harder for you to go the stealth route.
It's not strategic enough.
The samurai, yeah.
It's not like in Last of Us where you got to really systematically plan out your killing path.
Right, because you have certain creatures that are like, I can hear you really good, and you've got the other ones that can just see you damn good.
It's like frightening too. Like as you're going through, this doesn't feel that way. It's like, okay, there, keep moving on the next one.
So, is there like a difficulty you could scale in this game, or are you guys just saying by design how they arranged?
By design.
Okay. Is there a difficulty?
There might be,
but that's probably just mob health.
That's just
not
health. Mob health. Yeah.
Got you. So let me ask you this, Godly Sovereign. So I still haven't played the game. So don't platinum it. Let me borrow it. No, I'm just kidding. But
I think Sir Knight will be able to let you borrow it.
Because you got the digital.
Yeah, I got the digital.
No, I got digital too.
Oh, damn. You have to buy that one your own.
I see. Okay. So I watched people on some random streamers that I watched that play EverQuest and stuff. They were playing this game, which was kind of surprising. But a lot of them play like Souls games, so I thought maybe they thought like this was a
kind of like
Souls
same
style game. But I was watching some people play. It is fun to watch from a viewer's perspective. But my question is, I was looking at Metacritic, and it got a 82 or 83. I think 83. But the users gave it a 92. which I think is very interesting because I always feel like the users is a little more accurate to how I feel normally. So what do you guys feel? Do you feel like the critic score is more accurate or the user score is more accurate?
Critic score.
Critic score.
The user score, I think, is I believe it's the product of people's anger with The Last of Us. A lot of people were frustrated with The Last of Us and what happened, and so you saw how that did you see the user score on that one?
User score was pretty low.
It was about 3 or like a 2.3. There was people just threw up negative feedback because of the leaks they saw.
They're just being vindictive.
And so they hated The Last of Us, and so they revel in the.
So you're saying they rebounded over to
this. They reveled in this notion that Ghost of Tsushima was something that they preferred over what happened in The Last of Us, and so they want to like artificially bump the score up. So for me, the critics nailed it. I think it's about an 8. It's about an 8.
Okay, so it's about an 8.
Wasn't it getting 10s? When it came out,
a couple people gave it 10s, but for the most part, it's more mixed.
Okay.
Like with The Last of Us, it's almost unanimously praised. It's true. It's just so true. I think for me, playing The Last of Us 2 hurt Ghost of Tsushima, personally, because it's not a good story. It's not as beautiful as far as detail. It's beautiful looking, but it's not as beautiful as far as detail. They don't tell their story as well as The Last of Us does, even though there are some things that I hate about The Last of Us that I don't like as far as the story goes. The way they tell it is masterful. No one does it better. And Ghost of Tsushima, it really shows here how terrible they tell their story and how uninteresting their story is. Like, for me, there are some things I like about Ghost of Tsushima. I really like the combat, not the stealth. I don't really like the stealth. I'm with Godly Sovereign. I think it's a cheap way. It's very cheap. It's very easy. It doesn't feel suspenseful. It doesn't feel tactical.
I feel like it's just if you wanted to if you were passing by it and you just wanted to run through it real quick just so you could clear it and get it off your map, you just go stealth.
Yeah.
To do it all in.
The combat's fun. Yeah. The stealth is very cheap. It feels like I just cheaply killed everybody, right? Like, it does not feel good. It does not feel fleshed out at all. But I do enjoy the standoff. And I do enjoy the swordplay and switching stances for different enemies and parrying. I do enjoy that. It does feel a little clunky, like what Godly Sovereign is saying. So I would rather have a more fluid hack and slash feeling to it than a little drawn out and slow kind of wait for the parry. You know, I'd rather have a more God of War. Let's just beat each other down, right?
It's kind of like what we were talking about on the last podcast when we were talking about getting ready to play it and whatnot, and it's like they're dancing.
Yes, like there's more of a dance to it.
Yeah.
Even Sekiro is way faster. Like, even Sekiro is a much faster combat than even this is. And Sekiro I consider pretty slow. But Sekiro is just night and day better than this game as far as like combat goes. But I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the combat. I don't enjoy the story. Like, I just don't enjoy it. It's boring as heck to me. And I don't like how they force me to walk slowly through a section so they can fit in this conversation they think I want to hear as I'm walking to the next mission location. Like, I run to this hut to meet this person for the next mission, and then we got to go to this place across the valley, so let's go. But we have to walk there to get there because we have to talk about how's your brother doing, how's your relationship with so-and-so, and I'm like, come on, let's get to the action, right?
Yeah, but
I'm bothered by it.
Yeah, at the same time, though, I do remember a lot of instances in The Last of Us 2 that had that on there as well, where they kind of bottlenecked your speed so that you could go through like certain areas or whatever and have those conversations.
It was much lighter, though. It was for a much shorter period of time. And because the environment is so detailed and there's so much to see and the action is so frequent that those little moments of respite are welcome, like in The Last of Us. Like, because the moments are so tense and so crazy, like when you just get through, a whole den of, walkers or whatever, clickers, you're like, gosh, I want to take a breath a minute, like that was tense, getting through that. Like, I want to just take a moment to breathe. And so I welcome the little scenes that allow me to do that. And then we're right back in the action. Ghost of Tsushima, it starts off slow. It's not like you enter into a battle scene and then after you have like this slow, which, okay, I'm ready now to take a break. They make me break before the action starts. I want to get into the action first, and then I'm fine taking a break after, because I just got done with a whole bunch of action. I'm cool stopping to talk about something. But forcing us to talk, it's not an interesting conversation either. Like, it's not interesting to listen to. I don't care about how her relationship with her brother from, Kwaijian or whatever is doing. I don't care about, he's the best swindler in town. I don't care about that kind of, nothing's interesting about that. The story, like Marcus said, is super shallow. All it is me just trying to save my uncle. There's nothing depth there. There's nothing emotionally gripping there. There's nothing emotionally difficult to deal with there. And the combat's clunky. It's pretty, but it's also copy and paste. So the world gets kind of boring a little bit after a while. And another pet peeve of mine is the camera angle sucks. The camera angles are terrible.
You can't control the camera?
You can, but there's no transparency. So if my dude walks, so if I'm fighting a guy,
so there's clipping on the environment.
You walk by a building or something.
If we're fighting, let's say I'm fighting a guy near a doorway, and the fight goes through the doorway.
The camera.
My camera's outside still because it's third person. My camera's outside because it's third person still, and I can't see my guy. So my guy walks into the building, and I can't see what's going on. I have to quickly pan, and then like all I can have is just the doorway view because the game will not make transparent whatever my camera's looking through.
Or at least give them like an etched out line or something.
Yeah, or an etched out line, like a tree will get right in my way. Like I'll be fighting, and then the tree will get right in my way, and I can't even see what I'm doing anymore. It's the most frustrating thing, and it's like I should be able to at least see what my guy sees. If my guy's in front of the tree but my camera's behind it, my guy's in front. So I should be seeing what my guy at least sees, right? Like the view is third person, but I should see what my guy is seeing. Like
so you can't go first person at all, right?
Nope, you can't go first person at all. It just feels like, did they forget to make the camera transparent? Did someone forget to do this? It feels like a mistake.
I feel like the reason they didn't do the transparency on it is because, one, it may take you out of the immersion of the world.
But like I said, I should be able to at least see what my guy is seeing.
Yeah, I feel like that would be fixed if you had like some type of a lock.
There's no lock
on the
system,
character or something
which
like
would help.
that. Yeah, but I think they just did it so you can catch like a clean shot at any moment. You know what I mean? Of like a beautiful scene, possibly.
Yeah, but I want the tree trunk in my face.
Right, but it might be like, it might be the way the guy looks or something like that.
It's bad. It's bad. It's very frustrating and happens all the time because there's trees and stuff all over the place. It's really bad. For me, that's the biggest pet peeve I have with it is the cameras.
I did like how the fact that the horse that you have is not affected much by the trees. I remember hating that for Red Dead Redemption 2. Just trying to go through like a forest or something, and then you make like a wrong turn or whatever with the horse, smack into a tree, and then you're off your horse. You know what I mean? It's this sucks.
But if you go back to it, you'll see that there's transparency, right? Like once my guy passes up a tree, now things become transparent in my camera.
Yeah.
The
trees, it allows you to catch the view still in front of you.
Yeah, that's at least in front of my guy. Like the trees that are in front of my guy should be solid and can't get through, but when I pass it, now it should be. And I have a real hard time with the I think it's super lazy. I do not like the gathering system, just running around and collecting hundreds of little supply parts and bamboo and linen. I don't like that. I much rather have like a Bloodborne style where I collect shards every now and again. An obvious dead bodies there, I go collect and I get shards, or like Dark Souls, where you find the shard pieces and you're working towards like this big upgrade. And it's much more clear and obvious rather than constantly trying to collect every little corner, every little thing that I find. I'd rather it just be a little bit more purposeful.
It's like quality over quantity.
Yeah,
you
quality
want, like,
over quantity.
Finding things.
Meaningful finding things. Gotcha. That's what I would prefer, where I want to look in every corner, but I don't want to feel like I have to go. It should be more, quality where it's obvious. Okay, that corner is going to have something I want in it. Or then, okay, I better run in this room, every single room and every single edge, and just kind of like pressing a button, trying to collect as much as I can. It just feels super lazy and cheap to me.
I hear what you're saying on that one, and I feel like, you know, when I'm going on like a path, which is kind of funny because if you're following somebody on horseback or something like that, and you're going through like a part of the forest or something, or maybe a town, and there's like some supplies sitting on the side twinkling, and you go off to go and get it, like, oh, I'm here, I'm not probably coming back, so I'm just gonna grab, you know, everything that I see right now. Sometimes they have things that are a little bit further than what they would like you to go. And so then this little thing pops up saying you're out of the area that you should be in. Go back, and it starts a countdown. And it's kind of like, well, damn, you put all this shit here.
I need to collect it.
You put all this stuff here.
What does
I
it
need
count down
freaking
for?
500 supplies.
It's to tell you that you're gonna like fail the mission, and it's gonna restart you at your checkpoint if you don't go back. So like if you just stopped in the middle of gameplay and just went off.
So if you wanted to explore something off the trail.
If you're in a mission,
in the middle of a mission, it will.
If you're in the middle of a mission, which is making that point, which is why I find myself when I play the game avoiding the missions. I want to go. What I'll do is I'll go destroy an outpost, or I'll do something because I want to fight. I want to get into the action. I find myself avoiding the missions. And when I join a mission, you have to make sure you have about 20, 25 minutes solid time, because you're not going to be able to walk away from it at any time you want. You have to make sure you finish the sequence of the mission before you can go do something else. And the missions have those boring opening sequences. It takes a while to get into the action.
I wish you could kind of skip like the little scenes they have with like, they'll have like some kanji on the screen, and then it'll have like the title of the mission, and then like this nice pretty view. And it's like, that's cool and all, but like I wish I had the skip
me
option.
too.
Just go. I feel like with that, there's load screens incorporated. That all of that is load screens to load certain aspects.
Oh, the conversation and the dialogue and stuff. Yeah,
the stuff that they're forcing you to take a look at. The end of the mission, it pans out to show you like petting your horse, but you cannot move whatsoever.
Yeah, come on.
And then it's like an end scene thing, as if they were taking a snapshot of you for you. And it's just like, damn, I just like, as soon as I'm done with the mission, I want to like turn it in, cool, get my stuff, and then hop on my horse and go and be off, or check my map. But I gotta wait until the end of this cutscene to check my map, and then I can finally move forward and whatnot.
Right. If there's something I'm talking a lot of bad, but if there's some good,
we are mentioning a lot of bad.
We're mentioning a lot of bad, but there are some things that I do wish more RPGs would employ. Like I do like the birds that lead you and the foxes that lead you.
Yeah, that stuff is awesome.
Yeah, and the smoke screens that kind of, I'm gonna go in that direction to see what that is. Like I like the way that they invite you into their world, that give you hints rather than always pop. I don't pop the map open very often in this game, which I find myself not using the map very often. That's good. I might only open it just to go, what's the next main mission, right? I'll find that. But you could just kind of just keep going, and you could just run in one direction and find lots of things to do, because the animals and the environment lead you to those things. And so I wish more open world games would do that. They do that very well. I wish there was more RPG, though. I wish there was more gear to find, more loot.
Yeah, I feel like the real loot in the game is the bamboo, the supplies, the linen, the stuff that you use to upgrade your gear and things like that. And that's cool and all. I do enjoy the musician quests that you come across. Me too. Because it's like it's
something cool.
Yeah, some legendary armor or a weapon or something like that some master who died and it's hidden and everything. But the one thing that I don't like about them is that they all have the same aspect. It's like you have this one location.
Same process.
Yeah, you go and hear the tale from the musician, and then from there there's one location that you have to find.
Explore it.
That you know the area, the general location, so you go over there and then you search around in that area, and then that is going to lead you to another area that you have to go to. So
search around in that
area, and the whole time there's somebody following you, telling you not to continue.
And then you fight them.
You get to the very end where you find the thing, and then
it's like a boss fight.
You might have to fight them, or they want you to utilize it. So whatever it is, I'm not gonna spoil stuff for you, but like basically like you can find a bow, and then it's like, oh nah, you don't just got the bow, you got to make it out here with the bow. So like you have to then use that bow good, like damn good.
You gotta be good with
in order to get out of there.
So, I didn't even use the bow. I just went and killed everybody with my sword.
Did you?
Yeah. But let me ask you this, dude.
Okay.
Something else that annoys me. Cross upgrading material, where I need the material across multiple different things to upgrade.
Having to use the supplies to
for my
upgrade
sword,
your armor,
my bow, my armor, my pouch.
Yeah.
I need it for everything. I'd rather it be more deliberate. Like, you need these items for this upgrade, these items for this. I know.
Yeah, if I could just use steel and iron or something like that for my sword to upgrade it, and then I could use linen and leather for like my armor or something like that.
Hides for my bow.
Yeah, and even if we're talking about like high tier level, like, I mean, they didn't wear metal armor, but if they were to, like, okay, now you need like some steel to get like the last top line of it, of that one. But I mean, the fact that they have so many different armors that you can get out there that have like so many different little details about them that make them good or not, and it's not like one that's like overwhelmingly great, like, oh, I'm gonna use that for sure. It's like, you get some extra health on this one, or you get a little bit more time with your bow on this one, or you get a little bit more damage with this one, or a little bit more stamina or something like that. So in those things, it's kind of like, okay, it's just playing to, you just choose the armor now according to your game style, because you're damn sure not going to get any bonuses if you just pick it for how you like it, how you think it looks. Because I got stuff on that I like, and I'm like, okay, it's like a bow bonus, but like I'm sitting here with my blade the majority of the time or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, now it's like, okay, I should use my bow more because I'm using this thing. But we'll move on in a minute. But I just wanted to ask you about this, Ray. How do you feel about the character itself? Jin Sakai.
A little boring. I wish he was a little more interesting, but he's not bad. I've tried both Japanese and English.
Okay.
And I actually think the Japanese is much better.
I think his mouth is moving better to the Japanese.
Yes, the mouth
language
moves much better. But because they have so many conversations while like you're riding to the destination or walking to the destination, I can't read and do that at the same time, right? So like I ended up turning back the English. I turned the English back on, was because I couldn't, because I want to see the bamboo that I can grab as I'm going. Like I want to look at the world as I'm riding through it. You want to focus on the world, but you're focusing on the riding. And I can't read at the same time, so I needed to turn the English back on. But when I did turn the Japanese on, I felt the world felt better. Like it made more sense.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that when watching cutscenes. Like I saw their lips moving, and it's kind of funny because it reminded me of like the old school Asian movies.
It doesn't line up at all.
Yeah, where like their lips are moving like crazy, and then you hear like two words. You know what I mean? And so it's like, like if that's what they were going for, they totally nailed it. But I wish that they have had lip movement for each language that they tried to use, because that just would have made it feel more real, I guess, or something, like I was actually watching. But the main thing I was asking about the character is like, I don't like his personality. I don't see anything from it. I don't like, even when times are hard in clips, you know what I mean, his facial expressions are minimal at most. Like I don't see him as a stone cold-blooded killer. So I feel like he should be having some type of facial expressions when he's discussing something. I feel like, getting through like The Last of Us 2, I feel like there was so much facial expression
everything
that I've been spoiled
so
now.
Detailed, which is why I said I think playing The Last of Us 2 hurt
kind of
Ghost of Tsushima. It did, because like the storytelling and the detail, the facial, everything is so good. I wish I can go back and like play that again. But yeah, I agree. Like I really didn't like Jin when he was a kid, learning from his uncle. Like a couple of those scenes, he seemed like a jerk. Like he was like this snob, royalty guy. I didn't like him. There was nothing endearing about him. He seemed like someone I dislike, and he's supposed to be the hero. And I want to ask you this too, Stone. Like, is there a are you uncomfortable, dude? Like, isn't it kind of weird when like you're running through like this village and people are on the ground dying and they're like asking for help. Their village just got burned and I'm running around taking all their supplies.
That's messed up.
And they're linen. That's messed up. Like, that's weird to me. Like, I don't like this gathering system.
So I mean, in certain areas, right? I feel like there's people there just to be there. Like even in like the Golden Temple, there's just a lot of people there and they're not doing anything, you know, like they're not really serving a purpose but to try to make the world look like it's alive. But yeah, when you go through like certain villages and stuff like that, and they've maybe had something like, you know, like their village has been burned down and there's Mongols nearby and things like that. I feel like they're just right? Fodder collecting there. Stuff, yeah, but it's like, just like, I'm gonna pass you up. I know you're bleeding a bit, you know, you're holding your leg and everything, but I gotta get that supply behind you. So I gotta get this armor upgraded, you know what I mean? So I need you to move. My guy.
I need that iron, buddy.
So is that leather behind you? Move him out to the way. But yeah, so but I mean, regardless of how much bad stuff that we can mention about, you know, Ghost of Tsushima, we still like the game.
It's still a good game.
I still enjoy the game. It's just that you know, if you want to be nitpicky, you can. You know, if there's a couple of things that you could wish for, you can. There's lots of things to wish for. Yeah. In this, you know, so it's just, you know, it's one of those things.
We wanted a lot more. We were hoping for a lot more. It's more of a letdown than a bad game.
Yeah.
Disappointment, really, but it's good. It's just there's some things that feel incomplete about it. So I would agree with the Metacritic 8.3. It's still good.
Yeah. Every now and again, when I come across games that I was really hyped for, and then I'm kind of not let down per se, but you know, like my reaction has been, you know, sullied a bit or whatnot. I kind of get nervous for those other games that are coming out that I'm really looking forward to, you know, like Cyberpunk 2077. Like, is this going to be a good game like I think it is,
bro?
Or am I going to be disappointed again? You
After
know
playing Ghost, I'm feeling the same exact way.
I think that means you need to buy a physical copy.
I'm probably going to,
or you can sell it.
I'm probably going to try to buy a physical copy of that one.
Same.
But yeah, it's just like, man, you know, that's probably gonna be like one of the first, you know, physical copies that I buy for the PS5. I think I'm just gonna wait for the PS5 on that one. For Cyberpunk. But yeah, I just feel like it's like, dang, man, I was looking forward to this, and I thought it was just gonna be something that was gonna have me enthralled, just like in it. You know what I mean?
Which is why I bought the digital version of it.
Right. You know, day 1, hour 1. You know,
I've been kind of avoiding it.
Yeah,
I kind of want to go back and play Persona 5 Royal again.
Yeah, I mean, I right now I'm just like, Grounded. I want to play Grounded.
Yeah,
somewhere,
I know.
You know what I mean? Because I want to get better at Grounded. But yeah, but anyways, you know, moving on from Ghost of Tsushima, before we go, you know, did you have anything else that you wanted to add, you know, or ask about Ghost?
No, I mean, if I was gonna buy it, I'd buy a physical copy. Yeah. Just because I like to have it, or I like to sell it if I don't like it.
Right.
So that just reinforces the point for me that if I do play this game or buy this game, I'll buy a physical copy. My expectations weren't as high as both of you guys.
Yeah.
I thought it looked awesome, but it wasn't something that I would buy, like, you know, day one digital. It wasn't there for me.
Okay.
I wasn't sure on the Metacritic score, you know, but that makes complete sense based on what you guys say. I definitely see it being in the low 80s. That seems like a, you know, 82-ish. That seems like a pretty fair score, which doesn't mean it's a bad game. That means it's a great game.
It's a good game.
Anything over 80 is amazing.
Yeah.
But, you know, it ain't a 90.
Right.
You know.
I love you, me.